Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
And as you see, we have a very special guest. We have Michael, aka Jedi Mike, a fellow critic of ours who's joining us for our top five of the 2024.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
tongue tied there a little bit. Before we get started, Mike, why don't you, for those in our audience who don't know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, no problem. Hey, everybody, Jedi Mike, Michael. I'm in the Washington D.C. area with these fellow folks and stuff. So I'm a critic. I'm also a member of AFCA, the African American Film Critic Association. So I have my own YouTube channel as well, Jedi Mike 7, which is also in a bigger outlet that I have called Sowell Media that I'm expanding and everything. That's above in terms of Jedi Mike 7 in terms of the outlet that I'm making and everything. So yeah, I do interviews, do a bunch of movie reviews and TV show reviews and stuff. Just like these fellow folks here, and I'm appreciating you guys inviting me here. Hopefully, no one knows the first, hopefully not the last, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good, man. And yeah, so well. So you learn something new every day. See, I didn't know about that, about your
Yeah.
media. That's what's
dope.
up, man.
Mhm.
That's really dope. And just something I may say, you guys know me and Jovi are not that nice. But Mike is a lot. If you want to listen to nice reviews, go. I remember this conversation. The first conversation I ever had with this man, I forget what screener it was. It was almost a year ago. But we sat down and we started talking about Rebel Moon Part 1, which, if you know our channel, it's not even on our channel because me and Jovi refused to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I said, what'd you think of it? I remember he said, there's a good movie in there somewhere. It's like the Snyder Cut is gonna come out. He should have just released that. He was giving every excuse in the world for it, man. So
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even try and be safer, but literally everybody after that screening, because we saw that in DC at the Motion Pictures Museum, and literally after the end of that movie, we all just stood up and just looked at each other, and we were just silent, just like.
Yeah.
That just happened. Yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
On Christmas.
Yeah, man.
Man.
But anyway, yeah, go check him out. He just did you did an interview with Zoe Kravitz. I just saw, pretty dope. So
yeah, I have that. Also did an interview with Barry Jenkins, director Mufasa. And I interviewed the cast, Piano Lesson, Denzel Washington kids, all that, John David Washington, Malcolm Washington. Also Ray Fisher is in there. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, those interviews are gonna be posted sometime next week because I need to get. Well, I already told Sam I gotta get my number of reviews before the new year and everything. So get in new year, you'll see a bunch of the interviews posted throughout that following week and stuff. So yeah.
So top 5 of the year. Basically, I mean, if you guys have seen this before, you know how this works. We have a lot of interests. Movies are a primary one, but we have a lot of interests. So
yes.
Outside of movies, we're going to talk about just the top 5 things that just, left an impression with us this year. Mm-hmm. Mike, you are the guest man. Why don't you go ahead, get us started, bro? If you have any honorable mentions, you want to get to your top 5, or you want to just go straight into your top 5, take it away.
Well, I think in terms of honorable mentions, again, in the world of entertainment, I think it's best to start off with this because not really a movie, but a moment that started. And then my top 5 would be in terms of film, but in terms of the industry, in the entertainment industry, we cannot talk about, in terms of what's in the top 10 or top moments of this year without starting with Cat Williams' interview with Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
Because literally it was set the precedent for the entire year. 2024 was the year of exposure, and that's in many different areas of entertainment. So that's why I couldn't go without just mentioning that, because a lot of things have changed from now to the beginning of the year, and that man, he prophesied.
He said it. He said,
"Oh no!" He said it was all going to be laid out.
Yes. Man. Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, that was a moment. That Club Shay Shay interview. Yeah. All right, man. And I don't think I would have forgotten about that. So good stuff.
I got you. I got you covered.
All right. All right. Yeah. So then you want to go ahead and tell us your top 5?
Oh, I can get to I can get to mine. So at the end of number 5, I'll say to have a moment in recorded history as a gamer, as a fellow, black nerd. I never thought in my life I would reach to having reaching the end or the third installment of a Sonic trilogy. That never would have, something you only dream of that would happen. And I remember each time I was in the theater, I was like, okay, all right. And we've seen the curse of video game, movie installments and stuff, but to get to now where we're in the third Sonic movie, and all of them I can say I pleasantly enjoyed, if not loved. And I think that is a testament of times that are changing, even when it goes into anime, when it goes into other forms of content, to this point in 2024, what we've seen years ago, we're evolving. And I think as the in terms of different IP or expanding different mediums and stuff, it's also just a beauty to see that not only that these studios are making it, but also that they're being received well, that they're good, which should be the basic foundation of anything when you're producing. So I just, so get to a third installment of Sonic 3 and that thing, all of them been good. And it's not the last, Variety announced making a fourth one. So, hey, keep it coming. And so, and I just be happy as the nerd that we're getting our content, now, today.
I agree. I really like
going to be my honorable mention. So,
word. So it's gonna be. I knew one of y'all had to have it, so I didn't put it on mine.
For sure.
I like that, and I really, it's funny you said that. Like we've come a long way in video game movies, and it shows what they can be. And it just, I don't want to dampen the mood, but Borderlands also came out this year. I don't know if
it's not perfect, no, but at least we can say, hey, we got more wins than we had losses this year. I feel in that terms of video game content, film. And TV as well. So that's where I feel like we're getting more of our wins than we take our losses.
That you took it right. I was like, I'm glad that we're still progressing. We're getting better with it. But
no, for sure.
Didn't mean to interrupt. All right, so his number 5, Sonic 3, the movie.
But and also they have the music from Sonic Adventure, so you can get in there as well for us.
It was definitely all for us. Like everybody hit us up. I said, Sam grabbed me during the film, and people were saying, "Did you notice that they played the song?" And I was like, "Yes, we all noticed that song was being played."
Say number 4. All right, so this one I was debating, in terms of not trying to have all my best ones from this past, like end of the year. I'm trying to think throughout the year. So where I go to. So back in March, we had Dune, which we had, a cinematic masterpiece as well, but also it started another cultural movement here.
Okay. Well, man, Mike got something for us.
Yeah, it started the new renaissance of popcorn buckets.
Oh God!
I feel like this film Dune 2 or Dune Part 2, I should say, started the revolution of the popcorn buckets. Not only being a cinematic masterpiece, but also adding another realm of movie collectibles for us fans and movie lovers. So and that's that present for this year too, because we started seeing more other popcorn buckets and stuff. But Dune 2 along with the popcorn bucket, you can't not mention about that. So
man, I loved it. I got the Deadpool. I'm not in my crib, but if I had it, I would show you. That it inspired me to get the Deadpool one because I missed out on that one. So that was number 4. So number 3, I'm gonna go to. All right, so it go into both. We can do both film and TV, correct? Of course.
Anything.
All right, so TV, I can't. This, which will go into another top of mine, but in terms of television, for X-Men '97 to have the show to come back in terms of not only for that age, that was also my year, the '90s, for all you 2000 folks can't talk. The '90s kids, and then the fact that we've had this to come back, and it was. It was a show that a lot of people were surprised how good it was. I was able to get an X-Men '97 jacket and all that stuff. But literally that year was also the renaissance of X-Men coming more into the fruition in the spotlight in a positive way this year, along with another film, but I'll get to that. I felt that show really kind of just also emulated, hey, we can bring back other shows too that people want to talk about, like the Spider-Man animated series and stuff. But also and allowing also those stories to mature with your audience which is a big thing that's very
Mhm.
difficult to do. Which as you know, us as a fan base, you know, we love these characters for for decades, and now to get to a point that hey, like we're older now, and then they're doing more adult themes, and it's but also just there's a show that I can watch with my children, you know, as an adult and stuff. So that's just the beauty of it, and I just want to give pay respect to that show,
No,
X Men '97.
straight up.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm so mad at myself because I
Mm.
legit forgot that was this year.
I forgot that was this year too.
And
that
you know,
was
that's like that. Our review of that is our biggest video.
our
Me and
biggest
Joey.
video.
Like,
Yes.
it's our biggest video. Wow. Okay.
that-
yeah, yeah,
That's
I
not-
gotta pay those respects to that.
We're upset. We're both upset. Like, gosh, this year was long, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
A long year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said something, Mike, because I'd have been bad.
Yeah, no, I had it. Yeah, I had it written down. So I want to make sure I miss it. Then going to number 2. Now this one was debatable between another one because I don't want to just say I'm going to go to the recently with Wicked. Because I saw I saw footage for this at CinemaCon in Vegas, right? And we were not expecting this film to be as big, you know, in terms of like fan base and everything, the musical crowd and all stuff like that. Because this year we've had bad musicals, unfortunately. Which you want to talk about top 10 worst? Well, yeah, we'll get into that. But no, I just felt that was just another culture phenomenon. Seeing that from CinemaCon, the presentation, the fact they're also revealing that it was 2 films, but it kind of just bring another the film of audiences to come back into the theaters, which is I think is a big also important factor for me. It just to get anybody back into the theaters and talking about is cinema dead. Like no, when they're good films and also you make it as an event, then it's like it's going to benefit. And even for someone that me, that even though I'm not the target audience for this, I like and I took this with my wife. We saw like at least 3 times. But seeing everybody even online and social media and all this stuff, you can't without a doubt mention that's one of the top moments of this year for film. I'll just say again for making the theaters again experience as an event and as a moment for everybody to come together and stuff. So yeah, Wicked.
Easily one of the biggest surprises for me this year. And I actually saw the stage musical twice.
Yeah, I have not.
And
yeah.
Easily. It was so good. And your word, an event. I think Jovi said the same thing in our review. He said it was like a spectacle. Like it was something to watch. All right, man.
Yeah.
Good one. All right. So now you've given us some fire. I'm ready to hear your top one.
I'm about to say, what's number 1 for you?
Yeah, well, number 1,
great.
I mean, I'll say just again, as just being a comic book fan too, the fact that now since Spider-Man No Way Home, we've now have $1 billion film under Marvel's belt that a win that I think they actually needed at the time, which was Deadpool and Wolverine. To have again now the swing of marketing to come to not only bringing Hugh Jackman back, but again, 2024 was the year of X-Men, and honestly, also, if anything, to be specific, it was the year of Gambit. Be honest with you, it's really been the year for Gambit. But I think that film definitely again solidified, making it as an event, bringing people back in alignment with Marvel, even though their work is not done yet. This film was not the savior that it was supposed to be, or what people were champion to be. It was a step forward, not the end goal. Obviously, you got which, if anything, 2025, this is the year you need to pay attention. In terms of the consistency. That's not about wins, the consistency. Again, Black History Month. Well, I hope we pray. we pray. We pray again, man.
Praying that it's going to be a good film. I'm here.
Yes, well, we'll be there, and I'm just like, man.
It better be good. Yes. It better be.
Yeah, but going back to also, the popcorn bucket again, another amazing popcorn bucket with Deadpool and Wolverine. But again, I think it's also reminding also moviegoers, but to the theaters and to these movie studios, like X-Men is an IP. And X-Men is a $1 billion IP. There will always be X-Men movies. There will always be Batman movies. There will always be Spider-Man movies. These IP, against any others, have solidified their stamp in terms of Hollywood as being money makers when done right. Now, when it comes to also with Deadpool and Wolverine, I also want to talk about too is the synergy that hopefully I think this is the spark that will ignite something in Marvel Studios, how they move forward with their future films, which we kind of go into movie announcements, what they announced at Comic-Con, who's coming back for, Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. and all that stuff. Now we got, at this point, Chris Evans and everybody else is coming back in this bitch, whether we like it or not, at least they have a direction that's going here, and we'll see how this goes, in Secret Wars. But yeah, number one, I would say Deadpool Wolverine as a cinematic event to close off in terms of top 10 for this year.
That's good. Yeah,
solid.
That's a solid top 5. That
really, real talk.
You mentioned things that I forgot and things that I totally agree with.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You so, all right. That's Joby. You want to go next? Or you want me to go next?
I can go, man. I just doesn't feel like it happened this year.
I know, man. Like the Robert Downey Jr. announcement, the club shade, like all that stuff. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I was going back on our videos and I was looking at what we did, and I was like, man, dang, that was this year. So, all right, but go ahead, Joby.
So, I already mentioned that the honorable mention. One thing would be the film would be Sonic 3 because I absolutely loved it, but it just couldn't take the number one for me, so it just didn't go on the list. Mm-hmm. Also, which I didn't get to see, but Piece by Piece in the Pharrell Williams, he actually had a whole Lego set attached with the film. So that's an honorable mention of knowing your audience and like bringing it together. Pharrell's fans, like we love Pharrell. We've seen his entire career, our age group. And you're like Legos, we still love Legos, so why not make a very, and it wasn't, how could I say it was affordable either. Don't all right, so for my number 5, man, I'm gonna go with Helldivers 2.
You played on PlayStation or PC?
I played it on PlayStation.
Okay.
So I got it a little late, but I thoroughly enjoyed. There's a game that I usually, I like playing with friends, right? Mm-hmm. It's a game that I was able to get online and play with random people and have a hell of a good time without even voice chat. Like, it's like, what you're supposed to do. What your goals are. You can go out, you can get different things. I played for a good amount of time and then I just stopped. That's why it's kind of at the bottom of the list. But
got you.
Really, they did a great job with the game. I don't know if it's something I'm going to go back into because Call of Duty has taken over my time and Indiana Jones has taken over my gaming time. But
you have PS, you got PlayStation?
I have both.
Okay, you play on both?
Yeah, I tried to.
Okay. I gotta send you the username.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, so it was a good game. Like we haven't just had just a good game just drop randomly, like everybody kind of anticipated it, but it was cool. It was cool.
All right. No, I agree with you, man. It's a fun time.
So when Sam and I were texting earlier, I do have 2 shows, and I feel like those are going to take like the 4th and the 3rd spot.
All right. I think I know what one of them is, but go ahead.
I know.
Actually, I might know what both of them are, but go ahead.
So I would go with Culinary Class Wars. It was a Netflix show. It was a Korean show where 100 cooks, 100 chefs. Let me say it right. 100 chefs come together, very similar like the fitness show. I don't know if you guys have seen it, where they all like the workout, but it's chefs. So you have white spoons, you have black spoons, and they all compete and go against each other. So in the beginning, you have 80 just white spoons, where it's just these regular chefs. They're online, they're in restaurants, they're Michelin star chefs, but they're just not big enough yet. And then
I'll cut that out. My bad, y'all.
You're fine. And so they all compete, and then they drop it down to it was basically a competition between 20 on 20. And then from there, big
I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead, Joey.
All right. the big time chefs go against the lower chefs, and it ultimately, but they make some amazing food. Like my wife is a huge Korean television person, so
Mhm.
our Netflix is just all Korean TV now, and it just shows their production value is crazy. Like they're building kitchens in this big old warehouse, and they're all competing, and apparently it was like all done in like a week span, like this just entire show, which I feel like we just don't do it like that here. Like Americans production wise, that would have spread out for so long. You would have known what happened at the end. Like it was just great, production wise. But yeah, that's number 4. Number 3, y'all already know, the Penguin.
Mm.
The Penguin. Absolute just I enjoyed every single episode of that show, and I have not said that in a very long time.
Yeah, man.
It
Yeah,
didn't have it. It's something that we nitpick. Like you said, we're not as nice as other reviewers, but I would say that I could watch every single one of those individually and enjoy it as the masterpiece that they were. Like they felt like film set pieces, and yeah, I really have nothing bad to say in the way Colin Farrell transformed himself
Mhm.
into that character. I'm here for it. And then, it shows just like how Sony can't do it. You can have a villain show or movie and actually do it well, right?
it
You
worked
you
better as
didn't
a
see you didn't
series.
see an ounce of Batman in that.
Mhm.
Well, you saw Batman. You saw the feel was
But
Batman.
it was the
Yeah,
perfect hint of terms of where the world we're in, but
right,
this is where our focus is, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna handle this character, but also who they are, and not trying to make it as a anti-hero type story, what they do with villain stories these
yeah,
past like 5 to 10 years, and not actually have him be a villain. And
right.
that
Oh no,
yeah, that's
he's not
yeah,
a good guy.
He was
no,
a bad person.
yeah.
He's not a good guy. But yeah, so that's it. I could gush over it. And number 2, the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4M Fence Green. So this is a shoe. It's a Jordan 4, but it's a mid, and it's its own model. And Nigel Sylvester has had his contract with Jordan, and he's been on my list. Has he been on my list for the last 3 years of like projects that he's done? I
Mhm.
feel
I know
like,
I think you mentioned him last year.
yeah. And so like I love
Oh,
sneakers.
these guys are nice, yo. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
yeah. No, I love sneakers and just storytelling. We don't do it like that. And like this is like Nike SB era where every shoe had a story or some type of connection behind it. And so these are literally Jordans for riding BMX, biking, and then fence green is the green fence from his grandmother's house. The other colorway is driveway gray for the same driveway that he learned how to do BMX in. Like
Mhm.
that for me, storytelling and then actually having a really dope model. Um, that's yeah. Can I get them? No, they were hard as hell to get. Maybe one day I'll try to, find somebody that's trying to sell them. But
Yeah.
and then my number 1 is Wicked. It's Wicked, man. I pleasantly surprised for someone that has not seen the stage play or the musical. Um, I was just yeah, I was taken back. I
Mhm.
haven't felt like that in a film in a really long time where I'm just sitting there like I want this story to continue to progress. Us being able to see it a little early was really dope. And then the excitement for it from everyone. Like I had, like we talked about this in the review. I had a coworker. She hasn't been to a movie theater in 15 years, and she bought her ticket as soon as it dropped,
So Mike
so
was
that,
saying, man, it's like
so
it
that
just
she could go. Yeah, like, and since then she's now a moviegoer. Right, like this film has transformed like movie goers as just like a community. My son has seen it 3 times. My wife has seen it 4. We went on Christmas Day to a sing along. Like this movie really, this has put an impact on us because my wife loves plays and musicals. My son does too. And it's like now we have to find a way to see the actual stage play and the musical.
Yeah.
The fact that all of us have seen it multiple times,
Yeah.
like that's something that, like,
yeah. And I think also that's like because I've been seeing certain reviews or viewers that are obviously because again we're black too, so we also know the implications of this movie, especially with the casting of Cynthia Erivo, that there were undertones of things that we all could relate to. That our perspective at least has value because in the context of that casting, that this play been going on for over like 20 years, but in this scale, in terms of who you cast, the moments in terms of the story and the themes that they show mean so much more because of that casting. So it's just like again, the fact that all of us even like I'm men, it's just you just say that I'm like I'm watching the movie.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right. I'm like, and then people want to go on talking about some controversy about freaking fan made poster. Like, we get it. Okay, we get it, but they ain't ruined this movie. Like, So
it could not take the level of that. This is the catalyst. This is what everyone should do from now on. When we were watching it on Christmas again, I was like, this is exactly what I said in our review. I'm watching a movie, but there happened to be singing. It's not musical breaks. Like I'm still having progression. I'm still seeing a story. They're just not dancing in the middle of the street for no reason. Yeah. Like even the beginning, no one knows that wicked, and you're like, yes, y'all are dancing because somebody is gone. That's right. Horrible. Like it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like so.
Yeah. It was very very good.
That's it. That this list is a little different for me this year. Pretty simple, but yeah, Mike, you reminded me of some things that I totally enjoy because X-Men 97 is probably my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I can't
a cartoon show as an adult. I don't think anything has done it like that. Like,
nah, man. So we spent like almost 2.5 hours talking about it, bro.
Right. All right, Sam, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna start with my honorables. And you guys, so I did. A Penguin is an honorable mention only because I knew someone would have to have it. So I'll just get that out of the way. The movie The Substance. I don't think that movie is very gross, but Demi Moore was excellent in it. And I was like, she has one face. Let me see. Also another movie, Anora. Honorable mention just because that movie was not as how do I say this? It was disturbing. Wow. Dang. Oh, wow. My man got it. That movie was like, when you watch the preview, you're expecting a certain type of movie.
Yeah.
And it has that, but it actually has a surprising amount of heart in it, too. So I really like that. I'm also going to say, just speaking on the video game, Space Marine 2. That's my Helldivers 2, Jovi. That came out of nowhere for me. Got me all into, like, I was looking up Warhammer lore for like a good solid 3 weeks straight, like while I was supposed to be working.
I got it and I didn't. I played it, man. I had a little fun with it, but it didn't hold my attention. I liked the lore, and I agree with you on that because I stayed up like nights, because our phones are listening to us. So after I bought it and I played for that 1 2 days, I got like YouTube videos explaining everything about the lore. So I'd be watching till 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, this is cooler than the game to me. But
right. Like there's a lot to look into. Yeah. So it is. And then something I'm surprised you didn't mention, Shogun. That's why it's another thing that wasn't on my list.
Oh man!
Totally forgot about that.
That show was amazing. Because when you said you hadn't seen something that you loved episode from episode, I wanted to call you a liar because I know you watch Shogun.
Yes. No, Shogun does have that one episode.
Yeah,
that one very slow episode.
Oh, right. In the first, I know what you're talking about. Because
Yes, and so that's, but still
yeah.
amazing.
And then I know I usually have a lot of honorables, but I just the last thing, DC Comics, the comic book, they had a crossover, I think in this summer, called Absolute Power.
Okay.
And it basically spun out into a new universe called the Absolute Universe. Great jumping on point for new people. Kind of twists on the characters, like there's an absolute Superman, an absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Batman, etc. I thought it was a really good crossover, which DC actually has been doing, in the comics at least, has been doing very well with. All right, so now my list.
There we go. Let's do it.
My number 5. This actually came out, I think it was actually released overseas in 2023, but we didn't see it here until 2024. The movie Kill. It is a Hindi language film. It has already been greenlit to have an American release by the producers behind John Wick. It is. Okay. It's a. I don't know if I talked to you about this.
No.
It's one where it's like, so it. I mean, you get from the title, there's going to be killing in it. Yeah. He's a one-man army. He's on a train. Sees hijackers take over the train, and he's like an army guy. So at first, his thing is his thing is to neutralize them and stop them.
Yeah.
But then something happens. Something happens on a dime, and he just changes. And instead of neutralizing them, he starts massacring them.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
So I really dug that. That was a big surprise to me this year. Another movie I liked that I actually saw on streaming, and I'm mad I didn't get to see it in theaters. David Dastmalchian in Late Night with the Devil, where he plays a TV host who's trying to compete with Johnny Carson in the 70s. And basically, to get viewership, he brings on this girl who claims she's possessed. And things start happening in the on that set that make you think, oh, okay, maybe something is going on with this girl. And I really like the way it's shot. It's shot, as a TV show. It has commercial breaks and everything, and then it has like backstage cameras showing what he's doing during those commercial breaks. And that guy is just, he can't be typecast. David Dastmalchian. I really liked him. Awesome. Next, the movie Sing Sing.
Yes.
Okay, so you've seen that. So it's Coleman Domingo. Very good movie. I think it's only him and one other person who are actual like actors, and they got a bunch of actual inmates to portray the cat. So it takes place in prison. He played Coleman Domingo, his main star. He plays a man who is he goes to jail for prison for a crime he did not commit. And while in there, he basically joins a theater group. They call it a rehabilitation through the arts.
The arts, yes.
And they're putting on a stage play, and it just shows their production, from its beginnings, with him trying to inspire the inmates to do something to actually getting there. And it's even though like it starts off pretty messed up, it actually has a lot of feel good in it. Just because it's like, there's a lot of bad things in this world, and this movie just shows like even those who have it like the worst in our society, there's something for them. So I really dug it. I'm actually kind of upset I didn't review this. I don't know why I didn't.
It's on my list. We can actually talk about it. We can talk off screen about it. I need to record one.
Cool. Yeah, man, because that was a good one. Yeah. Then going up to number 2, Jovi, we both had something Korean on our list. I got a drama called The Killing Vote. Now, this actually came out, I think it came out in South Korea, I think November of last year, but we didn't get it till this year. Basic premise, there's a guy, or there's a guy he's a master like hacker or whatever, and he hacks everyone's phone. He gives them the opportunity to vote on whether or not someone in their society should die. Now, the person that they're voting on is always somebody who is guilty but gets off because of some technicality. So think like OJ. Like every single time it's someone like that, right? So they're voting, and he decides whether, if they say yes, he will go and punish them. And if they say no, he'll leave them alone. But obviously they always say yes. So the show is really just the the pursuit of him, and also, people who are chasing him, there's kind of conflict because they're like, yeah, these people, they kind of are the garbage of our society. Are we doing the right thing by trying to stop this guy from doing what we all know is right? So it's really interesting. I think it's only 12 episodes long. It's a really cool premise. And the K-drama acting, man, I just like, and like you said, the production levels, it's just
production level, the acting, and then the episodes are always like an hour long.
Yeah.
It's like we don't get that, man. We get 20 to 40 minutes, if that.
Right. And my number one is, I believe, was Mike's number 4 or number 3. Dune Part 2.
Okay.
I think this movie, we watched the first one came out when they did the date release thing.
One of the worst decisions ever for a company, but hey, we were eating good.
Right. So I think I've watched that one, I believe, in my house. And I was just sitting there like, I can't imagine what this would have looked like on a movie screen. I was so ticked off. So then I go see this one. I see it, and I make sure to see it in IMAX. So Jovi went to the preview. I didn't get to go. And he said, you got to watch it in IMAX. And
got to watch it in
IMAX. This movie blew my mind. It was so beautiful. It was so well done. And not even just like, it's one of those, there are movies where it's like, it's artistic, but then you're not really that interested in it. No, this wasn't like that, man. It had everything. It was artistic. It had a lot of great characters, a lot of great acting, just a great story. And I loved it, man. That was my favorite movie of this year.
Yeah.
So that's why it's number 1 on my list.
No, for sure. For sure. Gosh, man. Yeah. 2024, we got a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah. And it's crazy that, I was sitting there thinking, like, I just must have forgot. I really just must have forgot. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff in that, man.
Yeah, really did. Hopefully, I mean, I pray that Mike is right, and this is like, we're gonna get everything that happened this year is going to just push 2025 production and us getting a lot of like what we want, like people seeing how things are done, right? And like, just give that to us. You'll get viewers. Just give us what was done this year.
Right. I agree. And also, I think there's lessons to be learned from failures. We already saw Spider-Man's universe, or the anti-hero universe.
It's not Spider-Man's universe. He ain't in it. What are you talking about?
He's not in it. And then when we found out that he could have been.
Yes. And then also we give our honest opinion about it. Oh, no, we're wrong. Because we're critics.
I saw that come out from like the director said that, right? One of the producers. Yeah, like, come on, man.
Like, no, they're not. This just hasn't been good. And there are stories that are already written for you that you can use. We're talking about even with the Kraven, even though we enjoyed it.
Disrespectful.
Like
at this point.
Like we could have easily used the Spider-Man 2 Kraven, and I would have watched 2.5-hour movie with that Kraven.
Oh, the video game. Yeah, so remember, I think I said that in the review. But yeah, man, but hopefully they learn. I mean, that's already dead. And I think Mufasa is not doing as well as they would hope. So maybe
don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
We didn't need that. No one needed that film.
Yeah, right. Listen, it's like I said in my review, not the film that we needed. Still good, but we didn't we didn't ask for this. And also was released in a very bad time.
Very bad
maximize profit.
Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but all right, everybody, thank you for sticking with us, man. Top 5. Let us know what you agree with, what you disagree with. We would love to hear about your top things. As Joey saying right down there in the comments. Jedi Mike, thanks for joining us. You will see his channel in the description right down there. Go check him out. Like I said, he's a lot nicer than us, and he does a lot more than us. Like, he actually has actual celebrities he's talking to. So check him out. He's dope, man. Thank you for joining us, man. Like you said, this will not be the last time.
Absolutely.
And everybody, we appreciate you. Until next time, we out.
Deuces.